Yo, what is up YouTube? Fury here, bringing you guys a brand new video, and in today's video, I'm going to be going over some newly updated locations in Fortnite Battle Royale. Now, I did mention when Season 4 was going to drop that they're going to be updating locations weekly, depending on what they want to change around in the game. Now, I got some new locations for you guys, some newly updated ones I'm going to be going over, some few things that I, figured I seen change from week 1 to week 2. But before we get into today's video, if you guys do enjoy, make sure you drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you guys are brand new, don't forget to turn on those post notifications. And if you get first like on any of my videos, make sure you send me a Twitter image. I'll hit you guys back with that follow. And with that said, let's get right into today's video. If you guys are interested in winning some free V-Bucks, we are currently giving away 6,000 V-Bucks to you guys. All you gotta do to enter is like the video, subscribe if you aren't already, and turn on those post notifications, as well as follow the Gleam link in the description down below. There's going to be 6 winners, 1,000 V-Bucks each. Good luck to everyone. Now, the first 2 locations that I'm gonna be mentioning are quite popular. A lot of people have been noticing these changes, but the other 2 that I'm going to mention are a little bit low-key. Not too many people have noticed them. So the first one we're going to go over is Dusty Divot. Now, when Dusty Divot was introduced, and there was no basically roofs on some of the buildings. There's no really connecting tubes to any of the outsider buildings. So there's that main middle cube, and then there's like smaller buildings outside of that one. Now, there wasn't ever a connection between those buildings, but now, as you guys can see in the image, there are connecting tubes connecting to the outside buildings of that initial cube that they introduced. Now, as well as that, they put a roof on that inner middle building, so as you guys know, you could before land right into it, get a gun right off the rip, and start killing people from there. But now they introduced a roof to that building, and you can't really just fly in, grab a weapon. You have to land on the outer buildings and go in from that way, or find the door to enter that building there. So now you can only get in through that spot through a door, or breaking into it. So you can't really just land right in like you used to and just grab a weapon right off the start. Now, that was a little bit, a little change that they introduced. Now, I'm assuming they're probably going to keep updating this location, or most of these locations that they have been updating already, basically making construction on these locations, just to change them up a little bit more and, introduce this new weekly update to locations. So the first one was Dusty Divot. Now, number 2, as you guys know, a lot of people have been going crazy over this new, basically like a garage door in Wailing Woods. Now, this bunker has been getting a lot of attention. A lot of people want to know what they're going to be doing with this bunker. Now, as you guys may or may not know, that I don't believe this bunker was in the game week 1, and then of course week 2 came and they introduced this bunker. Now, we don't know what it's going to be for. Maybe something has to do with Thanos, or some new update that they're going to obviously introduce. Now, it does seem like there is an underground passage, that they're going to try to make, probably. So they're probably going to make an underground passage where you can get from one location to another from Wailing Woods. So the initial start will be Wailing Woods, because they did introduce that first bunker there. But we're not completely sure what they're going to do with it. They might do an underground tunnel. They might make a base underground. Whatever it may be, this was a little bit of a change that they did in week 2 of Season 4. Now, there's no real way of opening this bunker. They kind of just threw it into the game, made it undestroyable. But I've seen there was videos of people throwing porta-forts on it, and it was breaking the outer wall where you can see down into the bunker. But nothing crazy. You can't really get in. You can't see what's down there. So nothing too much that they did do with this bunker. But it was a different, a different addition that they ended up adding into the game. Now, the third little update that they did to the map, so outside of Shifty Shafts, there was that building on the outside near the entrance, and right next to that building was basically like a garage shed. But now they've been updating it, and now it looks like into another house right next door. So like a 2-person or a 2-family houses right next to each other. Now, it was a little bit different, nothing too crazy of a change, but it was a little different, a little addition that they did to that garage. So that garage now, instead of being just a single shed garage, or wooden shed garage, it is now, they're turning it into a actual house. Nothing too crazy of a change, but it was a little bit different from week 1. Now, the fourth and final thing that I found, now there is a factory type location right outside of Flush Factory. I think it's northeast of Flush Factory. Now, in this spot, there has been an addition to a nightclub that they introduced there. Basically, a dance floor. There's a bunch of new updates to this one factory in that location. Now, a little bit different, because before it wasn't anything too crazy. It was like a garage where you could just throw in a bunch of, storage and stuff like that. But they ended up turning into this, this location into a huge nightclub. Again, I'll be showing pictures of all these. I don't have the before images, but I do know that these have been changed in week 2. So if you guys are curious, you do want to land here, go ahead and do so. You guys can see for yourself that they are updated into the game. Now, as well as that, if there are any other locations that you guys have noticed have gotten a weekly update, let me know in the comment section down below. I'm kind of curious on, I want to head to these locations, see what else they added to the map and stuff like that. Now, like I said, I did mention in season 4 that they were going to be rolling out these weekly updates to locations, and it seems like they have been going through with it. Now, I'm kind of curious if they do with these weekly updates, they make a new city out of it. So say if they do implement a new update to a location, I wonder if they're going to keep adding on to these buildings, or they're going to end up, just making smaller updates to different locations. So say one week they do that nightclub, but next week they don't even touch that nightclub and they don't do anything with that location, and they'll go to a different location and start there. I'm also wondering if they are going to start introducing like smaller things in different locations. Say like they do introduce a little bunker in Wailing Woods, and say if they build a big city out of it, or a big underground building location type of thing out of it. I don't know. I'm kind of curious to see how they're going to play around with these new weekly updates, and if they do take it to a farther extent than just to update it slightly, change it up a little bit. I'm seeing if they do introduce anything where they do create something crazy big, say like another city or something like that. Now, obviously they don't want to introduce any, something too much, because maybe it'll change the game flow a little bit too much. I don't know, but they might introduce some smaller things like a smaller town or a smaller building out of a different location, just to get some different updates to the map. They obviously don't want to create a new entire map, because most games that we've seen that do create another map end up doing pretty bad, because the new map isn't what people want. It isn't what people want to see. They like the old original map. So I think these weekly updates are for them just to keep the map fresh, rather than having to create a new entire map. I feel like creating an entire new map is going to take too much time for them, too much time away from their updating the game and fixing up the game to where they want it to be. Whereas these weekly updates are just slight little updates that doesn't take them too long, doesn't take too many members of their team to, actually create something out of this. So I don't think anything of a new map is going to be coming anytime soon, as long as they do keep these weekly updates. And I'm kind of curious if they do continue these weekly updates into the next season, say season 5, season 6, or they're just testing it out in this season, and if it doesn't do that well, and people don't really like it, they'll probably stop doing it in the next season. But I definitely like these new weekly updates to different locations. Keep the fresh, keep the map a little bit more fresh. That way we get some new spots, and we get to explore the map a little bit more. We're obviously too used to landing Tilted or Salty Springs or Retail Row, whatever it may be, wherever your main location is. I find that I land at these different locations more than I did, before. Say if these new map locations are dropping, new construction areas are happening, I'm tempted to land at these spots just to see what's different, and it gets me outside of where I mainly land, where I'm comfortable. Now, also along with that, I definitely think they should start updating the the patch notes, just to show where these new locations are updated, some new fixes, some new construction zones. That way people get to land at these spots. More people get to know where they're at. More people are gonna land here, and that way you get more kills in those spots, because a lot of people don't land at those factories or in Wailing Woods just randomly, just to see that spot. Like, nobody really expects these spots to be updated, so nobody's gonna land there. But I definitely think if they do implement in the patch notes somewhere where people can end up going to these spots, and more people are going to be you're going to get into more gunfights. Obviously I don't want these locations to be too saturated, but they're not going to be crazy updates like a Dusty Divot or anything like that. So I don't think too many people are going to go there, but just something for people to know what got changed in the new update or the new week would be a really good idea as well. Now, the thing is, we're not completely sure where these locations are going to be every week, because there's no indicator, there's no like cranes or anything like that like I thought there would be. I thought there's going to be like a crane location where after every week the cranes will be moving and stuff like that, and all these newer spots will be updated and changed around a bit. But obviously there's no cranes, there's none of that. It's basically they're just rolling out updates for these locations. They don't really tell you what changed, but they do. You can obviously see them if you know the map pretty well. But that'll basically do it for today's video, guys. Like I said, let me know in the comment section down below if you guys have found some different locations that have been updated or whatnot. Let me know in the comment section down below if you guys want to see something change, you know, some additions to some different locations. But that'll basically do it for today's video. If you did enjoy it, make sure you drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you guys are brand new, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.